Welcome back to my channel, guys. Bienvenue. So for today's recipe, I'm going to be doing some lobster thermidor or just stuffed lobster. And for the sake of time, I've already cleaned my lobster out. You're going to cut it straight down the back. Let's get right into the recipe. So now we're going to start removing the meat from the lobster tail area. And I'm just going to loosen the skin from the shell. And then we're going to slowly pull the meat out. Now, once you pull the meat out, you're going to put the shell back into the tray. Now, we do have to wash the shell out again and wash the lobster meat out again. And I'm going to show you again. You're going to loosen the meat away from the shell. And then you're going to gently pull it out. So now that all our lobster is out of the shell, we are going to start to cut them. Now I'm going to cut them into about 1-inch pieces. Don't cut them too big because remember we do have to stuff them back into that lobster shell. Now I'm going to place them into my glass bowl and I'm going to take it to the sink to rinse them off again before we can start with the cooking process. So I'll be using my cast iron skillet for this part of the recipe. You can use any saucepan that you have. Now I already put in 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going in with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour as well. So we're going to have this toast for about 1 to 2 minutes because you don't want the roux to taste like raw flour. So flour always has to be cooked. So that's what we're doing. Next, we're going in with some onion and some mushroom, followed by garlic and green onions. And I had this saute for about 2 minutes. Next, I'm going in with some whole milk. Then next, I'm going in with some butter, just about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And then followed by some evaporated milk. Now, if you have heavy cream, you can add that instead of the whole milk and the evaporated milk. And now it's time for us to add some flavors to this. I'm going in with my black pepper, followed by my sea salt, and just a dash of some Cajun seasoning. You can use Creole seasoning as well, or even Old Bay seasoning. And now we're going to mix that all together. And once it's all incorporated, we're going to go in with our lobster. Now we don't need the lobster to cook all the way through because remember we're going to stuff it right back into the shell and it's going to go into the oven to cook. So we're just going to heat it up halfway through cooking And then we're going to remove it and place it in a bowl for stuffing. Now, before I put it into the bowl, my stove is already off and I'm going to be adding this type of cheese. Now, this cheese is not very pungent and I find it goes really good with seafood. So I'm just adding a little bit of it, just about half a cup. Mix it in there and then remove it from the stove. And now we're going to move over to stuffing. Now in here, I have some Ritz crackers that I have crushed and I have added melted butter to there. So this is optional. You can just add breadcrumbs on top if you would like to. I just find the Ritz crackers gives it a little more taste. Now before you put the stuffing, make sure to pat dry your shells. And then we're going to start stuffing them with that lobster meat. And then I'm going to add the Ritz cracker and melted butter mixture right on top of that stuffing. So when you're digging into that lobster, you taste in like 3 different flavors. You go in with that cheese flavor first, then you taste that Ritz cracker, and then you taste that lobster meat. Oh my God, it is so good. So guys, now I am topping up with that cheese. I do not want to put too much of a heavy layer on there because I do want to taste my flavors, like I said. So now our lobster is ready to go right into the oven. It is going in for 20 to 25 minutes at 350. So the lobster is all done. It's looking so good, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And do remember to have a good day on purpose. Bye.